What's up guys, back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga. This time I'll be reacting to the chapters The Sprint and Vow of Retaliation. Now I have a little inkling as to what to expect with these, as I'm pretty sure I remember the third movie ending up finishing off with Guts kind of facing off against these kind of ghoul, ghost kind of spirits, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like in the manga here. And like I mentioned in the last chapter reaction, everything from pretty much this point onwards is going to be new territory, so absolutely can't wait to see what's in store. Again, we've had kind of new territory with the I think it was 11th volume with Weald. Might be getting the volume number wrong there, but we had pretty much a whole volume of just absolutely new stuff, so can't wait to get into it in coming weeks. But do let me know what you guys think about this volume down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with my Berserk reactions. And we'll get right into the Sprint. I only actually read Escape and Awakening to a Nightmare yesterday, so pretty fresh in my memory. If I don't ever have it fresh in my memory. Usually I'm pretty good at remembering the past events of the manga, just because it's very fleshed out, isn't it? So get a good picture of everything. Interesting start here. But yeah, last volume was well, I say last volume, last couple of chapters were quite devastating, weren't they? Not in terms of people killed or whatever, but just kind of dealing with what just happened about losing all our comrades, losing Casca, losing a loved one, and yeah, just Guts waking up to an absolute nightmare. The chapter name was definitely very much spot on, but yeah, we're starting out with a cute little, not sure what to call this, little squirrel. Is that a squirrel? A little chubby squirrel right here. I think so though. Yeah, I think it is a squirrel, isn't it? Couple birds as well. Never usually get anything this nice in Berserk, do you? Nice little cute animals. Birds chirping as Guts is just running, and looks like he's ran quite far as well. By Matt, he's sweating. Honestly, I don't blame him from running out of that situation. It's not like it was in the worst situation ever in that cave, but must have felt horrible being in there, just surrounded by, well, he knew Rickert and the girl, but next to Casca, who isn't really same Casca, just dealing with everything, just being in a close space like that, I imagine really fucking gets to you. As he just lets out a roar. Or is that him just trying to breathe? I think that is him roaring, isn't it? Gah! Ripping off his eye bandage. The Sprint. Barefoot as well, by the way. Chidao. God, rest in peace, man. All these Band of the Hawk members, my dude. Really is so sad, isn't it? I mean, it was sad enough so many kids and young people died for Griffith's dream before he turned into a demon, before he went into the eclipse. And afterwards, it's just even worse, isn't it? Poor Jidao. There's such a long life ahead of him. Talented guy. He died for another man's dream. Not fair, is it? Again, I feel quite a bit more emotionally attached to these characters here in the manga. I'm kind of swelling up a little bit looking at him, just knowing Fate, how young he was as well, and just feels a bit more emotionally impactful here to me. Guts is still running. Again, imagine being in Guts' shoes. Imagine being in Guts' shoes. Big beady eyes. It almost makes you swell up a bit. I wasn't too bad as it was kind of happening, because there was so much disgustingness going on that kind of overtook the kind of emotions. But looking back and looking at him, horrible, isn't it? Even thinking of Caucus as he jumps a huge gap. Even thinking of little old Caucus. I remember this scene when he was trying to pick up that maid. Yeah, this one as well. Damn, we're really going back in the memories today, aren't we? He said some harsh words here, but some true words as well. Caucus. Or some kind of swamp. I'll pip in. The big man. So all his bandages are coming off. And that is metaphor, isn't it? All these bandages and eye patches being ripped away. Thinking about this, kind of mourning their deaths. Peeling away the layers on Guts. Yeah, it's just very overwhelmingly sad, isn't it? Not a nice start to this one. Not in terms of it's bad, but it's just very sad and emotional, isn't it? Seeing all these guys one last time. The stone wall, Pippin. The silent wall. Guts takes a tumble. Even more of his bandages coming off. Get his name again. I'm always forgetting his name, aren't I? Apologies. It'll come to me in half hour. It's got 6 letters, I think. Our kind of protege, one of our favourites right here of Guts' men. Just having a laugh. Drinking, having a laugh. Guts with his crew again. Riding into battle with everyone. Casca behind him. Griffith in front, looking back. Honestly, fuck off, Griffith. Fuck off. Don't want to see you. Don't want to see you right now, my dude. That Jadal right there. I haven't got a double. I think this is the first double. Actually, maybe not, but as finally his arm. To say, oh, well, it's not fully off actually. To say, best not actually take that bandage off your arm. As Guts is bleeding again. Probably all this fucking running about. He's kind of showered with pain right here. Funny enough, probably more pain from the emotion and the thoughts than the injuries and the cuts. Perhaps, funny enough, perhaps this is actually making him feel a bit better. These wounds, these little slashes. fun. Like, I know it sounds strange, but sometimes it's like that. Sometimes the pain feels good. Oh, I've got another. Wow, this is definitely the first triple. Sprinting. I was wondering what this is. That's his eye. His eye's bleeding again. I think it's quite obvious when you look at the two next to each other. Yeah, another quite fitting tear, isn't it? Tears of blood. That's some beautiful looking grass. That's some beautifully drawn grass, isn't it? Bloody hell. The meticulous amount of detail in this is ridiculous, isn't it? Almost looks a little bit like the scene where the eclipse happened, a little bit. Little dragonflies. I do like dragonflies, they are cool, aren't they? They probably symbolise something in Japanese as well, I just don't know what. Quite a lot of that Japanese, isn't there, with flowers and such, and animals and little things. There's a lot of representatives. I think it's their culture, isn't it, to something like Monogatari, for example, where every kind of character is kind of related to an animal. There's just stuff like that which they have. It's a little bit different than here in the UK. I think this is where we get attacked, right? There's Femto. Shining darkness. The shining darkness. So, you bastard. All this darkness raining down on us. Pretty much caused by one man. Well, definitely. He made the decision, didn't he? Ultimately, he made the decision. As much as what we saw with like the lost chapter, which I'm going to try and forget again. I do think again there was a really good explanation in my the comment section of my lost chapter video about the kind of views on God there. Different from the ones I had reading it, but I think I actually prefer the ones in my comment section, to be honest, than what I kind of came up with. What I came up with was just an explanation for the whole series. So I didn't exactly like that too much, but this is a shot and a half right here, isn't it? I think I've seen this shot before. These bits of grass. I haven't seen this bit on top of it though. It is raining. Quite fitting. Quite fitting. And the mark's hurting, which I think is a sign, isn't it? A little sign. Just gotta make sure I'm positioned right. Sometimes in these videos for you guys, I'm probably like a little bit like this, or like just like over in one corner. I do because it is so slightly different from where I sit in my anime reaction videos. It does look weird sometimes, and it is actually very early. I'm recording this. What? I was gonna say I don't think I'd have any text to speak about today. I think we are. Yeah, we are pretty much finished with this. It's been quite a short chapter, hasn't it? I think it's because again there hasn't been any dialogue. But yeah, the mark is hurting. As we got all these eyes on us. Hey, 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 hey. Oh shit, what the hell? Arm. They're here. They're mine, sorry. That was very small. Arm. They're mine. Liver. Mine. Brain. What? This reminds me of the zombies back in the day where I used to say brains. Return of the Living Dead, one of my favourite zombie movies. It's got one of my favourite zombies as well. The Tar zombie. You guys might have seen it. It's a pretty goofy looking zombie, but I love the way they say brains. There's just something about the old school zombies. I haven't seen any zombie movies. Last like 10 years almost, I think. Zombieland probably maybe one of the only ones. That was actually more than 10 years ago though, which is actually quite sad. That was one of my favourite movies when I was a bit younger. But yeah, there really hasn't been many zombie movies. I think people probably get a bit bored with same kind of threat because you can't do too much different in zombie movies. There's different variations like Return of the Living Dead, for example, and Brain Dead. It's got some interesting ones. Also, 28 Days Later has got some pretty ruthless ones, some very fast ones. Yeah, not too many. I can kind of understand people getting bored with zombies, but I've always liked a zombie movie myself. Again, especially that kind of period from like 70s, 80s, 90s with George Romero zombie movies. Always classics. What? More of that nightmare again? You should take heed. Oh shit, Skull Knight's here. I think we did again see this in the movie. You should take heed. From now on, this is your world. It sure is. Just appears out of nowhere, by the way. Just appears out of nowhere. The boundary between the mortal world and that of the dead. The interstice. I've got no idea what that means. The interstice. I hope I'm saying it right. Interstice. From now on, this is your world. The boundary between the mortal world and that of the dead. The interstice. I guess that is quite fitting, isn't it? Not in just terms of these kind of monsters being more active in the real world, but Guts should have died, so he's always been very much near death, hasn't he, this whole series, but he should have died, even more than usual in the eclipse. So he really is between that barrier, isn't he? Kind of figuratively and literally. Very well developed story in that way, isn't it? I can't remember what I was about to do. Yeah, I was about to Google interstice. Interstice. An intervening space, especially a very small one. An intervening space. Yeah, I guess that fits, doesn't it? I guess that fits. But yeah, that is a very quick end to that chapter. How long was that? Like 15 minutes? 20 minutes. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, it was a very short one. Lots of awesome shots there, though, wasn't there? Again, I just love Skull Knight when he looks at you like this. Glowing eyes. If any of you guys did want to see that Tar zombie I was talking about without actually watching the movie, it's quite an infamous zombie. You guys probably seen it on some memes. This guy. Brains. This is a classic zombie movie. If you guys do like zombie movies, definitely check this out. It's probably my favourite. Oh, maybe not my... I wouldn't say probably best, but probably my favourite. But have a little relook at some of this artwork. Again, some very infamous shots here that I've seen before. Like this one here, for example. I've seen this bottom bit, I think, probably on a YouTube thumbnail or something, but never saw this. Femto shining up there. I really like this as well. Look at the difference in all these shots. Almost a bit like this is like the past, present, and future as well. A little bit. Maybe I'm not exactly right in saying that, but obviously it's quite obviously the past. It's the current pain that Guts is dealing with and running from, just sprinting away from. And then this is the future. Black, darkness, pitch black. Half of it pitch black. One streak of white, which is probably the line between life and death. Which he is in the middle of, isn't he? And it would be quite poetic if that was the case. Maybe I'm kind of clutching at straws there, but that is what I got when I originally kind of saw through these. I still don't remember his name. Apologies. I don't know if I can look at Jadao again. I think he's the one I'm saddest over, to be honest. Probably the one I like the most. Little Jadao. Oh man, okay. Next chapter. Vow of Retaliation. The boundary between the mortal world of that of the dead. Mortal world and that of the dead. The interstice. Vow of Retaliation. So yeah, this is the last thing I think we see in the movie. Quite the sad place to end off the movie, actually, thinking about it, isn't it? I mean, is it worse? Is it more sad and depressing and dark than the end of the anime? Quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, very fitting for this series to end on notes like that, but very bleak. A bit sudden and bleak. I always thought with the anime especially. A bit sudden and bleak. I'm just going to end it with everyone dying. And our hero's fate undetermined, undecided, ambiguous. But again, it kind of fits the series. He's the one from that time. You've met him a few times now, bro. Shift. Za. Use this. He's even got a nice sword for us. Oh, it's his sword. Oh wow, he's given us his sword. The spiky one. I brought that up last video. I'm pretty sure with the thorns on it. It looks like he got hurt by him. Of course. What kind of person has thorns on their where they hold their sword? A badass, that's who. What's with this sword? Good fucking question, bro. Oh yeah, again, it's a little bit fitting in terms of you're dealing damage and you're attacking and you're killing. But while doing that, you're also kind of inflicting damage upon yourself. It is paining you to do so. Maybe that's the kind of essence to it, who knows? Maybe it's just for a cool design. Probably. Damn, Skull Knight looks sick in this shot here, doesn't he? I love Skull Knight. I love him. I gotta say every time I love the man. Love is the presence he brings to the scenes, the mystery, the kind of intrigue. The help. The big help, actually. We wouldn't have the story wouldn't go this far without him. So we can always kind of thank him for that, I think. These kind of ghoulies descend upon us. Horrible looking things, aren't they? Ah! It's just slashing away. Imagine how hard these are to draw. Imagine you've just got to do the outline and then you're just like pure white and then you've got to shade these kind of darker areas and that's how you make these look like they're things. Very well done. Very well done. That's just slicing. What is this? This response like cutting through water. These are the dead spirits that roam about this place. Being dead, they now cling to life. They have swarmed together in their desire for your warm flesh and blood. The brand of sacrifice. It has drawn those of darkness. Blood. Life. Give me life. I guess this is a bit of a humbling moment a little bit. Because ultimately we are still alive. I guess that is one thing we can appreciate right now. We are alive. We are experiencing. Whereas these guys are so desperate for life after dying. They're very sad, isn't it? You pity them. Pity these dead souls. Let us in. Let us in. Inside you. Okay, bro. Don't be getting any ideas. Let us inside this body. Let's get into him. Veins popping. Gah. Steel yourself, otherwise you will be haunted to your death. After all, to them you are a torch tossed into the darkness. No doubt you shine through brilliantly for them. Oh, look at all these sad little like baby ones. This is the reality that you must walk through from here on. A world invisible to the eyes of the flesh. You must stand in the interval between two worlds that, while mutually significant, do not make contact with each other. So he's always going to have these kind of haunted spirits and such around him, hey? It's kind of world of the dead. Which no normal human can see then, right? Only those with the brand. Again, will Casca be going through this? I hope they bring that up. I hope they kind of tell us if she's, and not, well, I guess it's quite interesting, even ambiguous, but I hope they tell us if she's going to be haunted or not. I mean, I suspect she probably is, because, I mean, the brand is the same for both of them, right? Why? That is the destiny of those who receive the brand of sacrifice. Your body and your last drop of blood in it has been given as an offering to those of darkness. Destiny? 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 There's some rough looking ones here. You know what used to really get me as a kid? I always remember this. I always remember back to it. I think this is where my love of horror came from. Being so damn frightened when I was a kid. I don't think I ever really watched horror or anything, but at the time, I was a kid going through fairground rides and such, and there'd always be massive posters of like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and some gross ass like horror villains. And I'd always walk past them, and I'd always just be staring up at them, kind of just shit scared. I'd always be scared of the rides because they've got those pictures on the rides. So I never rode those rides, and I was always staring at them. I think that's where my fascination with horror came from, to be honest with you, from a young age. And I just had to experience and someone's run out. Had to experience and see those movies with those characters in. Freddy, Jason, for example. They're always horribly drawn. They're really well kind of drawn, but like graffiti kind of drawn, and yeah, always spooked me a little bit. Like faces like these, they'd make faces like these on the top like fairground rides. It takes me back a little bit. Shut the hell up! No, I guess the great sword, which I think is what his massive sword's called, I guess that's not really an option anymore, is it, with one arm? Unless he just gets massively swollen on that one arm. Or actually we do see him later on with a kind of... We see him with a gun. Does he get a mechanical... I feel like he gets like a mechanical hand at some point. I'm not sure how that would work. Pretty sure we don't even have those nowadays. Oh, I think we definitely don't even have those nowadays. That's quite the interesting thing, isn't it? I think a lot of people back in the day thought by this time in like the 2020s things would be very much technically advanced, because things were massively ramping up during those like 80s, 90s. I think they thought that the future of technology would be the same kind of pace or even faster progressing, but it has slowed down a reasonable amount, hasn't it, recently? Although there's still a lot of fascinating stuff coming about. AI, Elon Musk and his head chip thing, which I'm very scared of. But I think it can do a lot of good. Probably does a lot more. Like I saw people getting quite mad at the monkey stuff about them testing it on monkeys. I mean, this might be quite a contentious point, but I'm not too mad about that, to be honest with you. I know it's not very nice. I love animals as well, by the way. I think a lot of you guys probably know I love animals, and I feel like it is wrong. Don't get me wrong, but it also is for the betterment of millions, tens of millions, maybe even more people in this world that suffer from kind of mental brain conditions and such, and blindness, what can possibly cure and stuff like that. So I feel like it is very much worth it, but contentious point, so I won't talk about it anymore. How about you save your high and mighty crap for after I've been taunted to death? Skullface. I mean, not going to have time then, are we? Why are you getting mad at Skullface? It's Mr. Skull Knight for? Not his fault. He's just telling you the deal. He's been good to you, bro. He's been good to you. Damn, I'd love to see this sword made in real life. That'd be so cool. Be unwieldable. Well, I guess it would be, but you just gotta fuck yourself over. And how long can you spend grasping a thorn? Not that long, I don't think. Luckily enough, I don't think Skull Knight really cares about your insults, guts. Sacrifice? Offering? Destiny? Quit spouting about a bunch of cryptic explanations. Explanations. Quit spouting out a bunch of cryptic explanations. The point is, this is war. It ain't different from any other war. The last one standing wins. Guts has a little smile on his face there. First smile since the eclipse. I think he's happy at the thought of revenge. The thought of killing these bastard monsters. I do imagine someone probably has made the sword in real life. I think there's a lot of stuff like that, like collectors and kind of I don't want to call them this, but maniacs. They're not exactly maniacs. I can't remember what the actual name is. Lunatics who would actually go to the lengths of creating this. I think there's probably a few of these out there in the world. I imagine, like real swords. I think there's probably more than a fair few great swords out there, giant real ones, probably. Fair play to those that do those, but again, they are probably maniacs, as I imagine that takes a lot of time and effort. for something you can't actually use. Like what? How are you going to use it anyway? People don't fight with swords nowadays, do they? But some places. But listen here, I'm beating all of you. Yeah, I think it's all of ya. I think all of you. It sounds so weird when I say it like that. Listen here, I'm beating all of you. Yeah, I'm beating all of you back down to hell. Tell those ugly, pale-faced bastards for me. If I get hit, I will hit back. Tell them leaving me half-eaten is going to be the end of you. Oh my god, really? This guy's brain's coming out even in spirit form. And they're actually like bleeding and such in this kind of spirit form as well. Listen here, I'm beating all of you back down to hell. Tell those ugly, pale-faced bastards for me. If I get hit, I will hit back. I'll hunt and kill all those wretched monsters. I like this one. And a bit of a goofy one. Goofy ones are the best ones, aren't they? Like I said about Mr. Tarman. And all of you, down to the last one. This is my war declaration. Damn. Reminds me of Attack on Titan Season 4 episode, Declaration of War, which was another banger episode. This is a big old declaration here as well, isn't it? This is my declaration of war. So this is the moment we choose to fight, choose to struggle, and perhaps win, perhaps beat these monsters. It's going to be a hell of a fucking task beating any of the God Hand who actually have kind of supernatural powers, whereas again we're just a man. I mean, we're on the edge of death. We're in between now. We're kind of spiritual now, I guess, in a weird sense, but still just a man. Still just a guy. Just a strong guy. Against people that can, like Femto, that can just, against Void, that can redirect your attack wherever he wants. How do we beat that? Pure effort, I guess. Luck. Oh god. Should anyone trample that dream, he would oppose him body and soul, even if the threat were. Damn, I love this shot here. Fucking hell, that's sick, isn't it? It's almost like the moon, and then the eclipsed moon. Obviously, light and dark, but that's a hell of a shot right there. Fucking hell. I like that a lot. Again, that would be another cool tattoo, I think. But, I mean, we're going to use those words for ourselves right now, aren't we? We're going to oppose in body and soul. We're going to oppose these monsters, this darkness. And look how brutal this face is as well. My guts, man. I'm going to struggle for it. I'm going to struggle again for what I pick as the thumbnail today. Like, what the hell do I pick? Do I pick this image at the top here? Do I pick this one? Do I pick guts laying in the grass from before? It's always a struggle. It's always a struggle, my dude. I hope, yeah, you guys do not envy me picking which image I choose for a thumbnail. I got to make sure it kind of works as well, kind of size-wise. All of these work, but because I haven't got Photoshop or anything, I'm not kind of well versed in that. I've got to kind of do it by my own means, some imaginative means. Yeah, hell of a panel right here. I love this from Guts here. Just absolutely, he looks like a rabid canine, doesn't he? Just it looks like I Show Speed, and he's rampaging. It's a nasty look, isn't it? The struggler. Indeed. Yes, Skull Knight. Yes, Skull Knight, you understand, my bro. He don't. Well, he understand. Again, he understands everything. He's massively helpful, isn't he? So he knows the situation. He knows a little bit about the future. You know, I like to think that he's smiling at Guts right here. Again, it's like with Void. It's kind of hard to tell when they're actually kind of. During that shot of Void, it was pretty obvious he was kind of menacingly grinning, but with Skull Knight, obviously it's very, very hard to see any emotion on the guy because he's just a skull. But I like to think that he's smiling in this shot right here. The struggler indeed. Indeed he fucking is. And he's gonna keep struggling. That's all we humans can do, isn't it? Again, quite fitting for the times with COVID and such, and a lot of people having a hard time. Just got to struggle through. Just got any means necessary. Just got to struggle through. Got to make it through. This strength is unmistakably the reason he survived the eclipse. And to be fair, as much as again Skull Knight did save us from pretty much certain death, potentially. Again, I'm not really sure how that would have ended out if Skull Knight didn't come. Guts did survive all that time by him, like up until then by himself. Like that is a hell of a feat. Even if he did get saved, still a hell of a feat surviving that long. But not that much of a fight as again just a mere mortal. Look at these little bastards. They're kind of fading away now. Again, these fucking faces. What? It's already over? Wrong. They have found it. Another torch. Ah, so does that confirm what I was talking about with Casca? Another torch. She's just destined to get fucking abused by these guys now because obviously they're going to go for Casca rather than Guts. Torch? More cryptic crap? And then he thinks for a second. Guts, why do you keep doing this? Why are you putting a sword on this man? His own sword. Like, I can almost guarantee it. I don't think he would do it. Obviously he saved Guts for a reason, but Skull Knight could probably just kill Guts like that, I imagine. Right here. The lucky man. You gotta lend me that horse for a bit, pal. Well, hurry up. He's actually helping him out. Fair play, Skull Knight. I mean, what else has he got to do? Not like he's got work. Not like he's got to be somewhere, probably. Although I imagine maybe he is busy fighting off these monsters. Who knows? Who knows what he does when he's on his own? Do you reckon we'll ever get a chapter with like just Skull Knight on his own, seeing what he does? I'm hoping to see a bit more kind of backstory and such with Skull Knight. We have got a fair bit about him already, but still very interested. Just whoop. Get on. Whoa. Yeah, imagine it's that's the thing about losing an arm or losing a leg or anything as well. You got to deal now with balance. Balance is an issue that you didn't think you had to deal with, but you've now got a little bit less balance because you have a little bit more weight on your right arm, and now you can't put out your arm to balance a bit more. As smaller thing as that is again just stuff you don't think about that you do have to worry about in those situations. This is now twice that I've carried you. Do not be thrown. That is twice, to be fair. On the back during the saving of the eclipse, and now here. Doing us a hell of a lot of favours, Skull Knight. Again, Guts, you should be a little bit more thankful. You know what, as well, that I didn't notice? Skull Knight got his sword back during that. Just while he chucked up Guts, he got his sword back during that time somehow. Hey, let's go, boys. And that is where we're ending off this volume. Hell of a volume, wasn't it? Hell of a fucking volume. Probably the best volume yet. Although I feel like I say that as the volumes go on every volume. But I think this is definitely the best one yet, isn't it? Hell of a short here ending off as well. Yow! Just riding out. I'd feel like such a badass on the back of Skull Knight's fucking horse. You ain't got to worry about a thing that's in front of you. Do not be thrown. Yeah, awesome shot there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm hoping the video isn't too short. Nah, it's about kind of usual video length, to be fair. Sometimes I'm about the hour mark. But again, there wasn't too much dialogue in the first chapter. But yeah, some really good moments here. Again, love anything to do with Skull Knight, as I always say. Just love any involvement the guy has in the story. Just love seeing his design and his presence. It's got so much. What the teenagers call Riz nowadays, which I had to Google, is short for charisma. Riz, charisma. Yeah, I didn't get that either till again I googled it. Yeah, some really awesome shots. Love this one. It's probably one of my favourite panels. Although there's a lot of fucking awesome panels from this volume. One of my many favourite panels from this volume. The rage on Guts. This whole volume. This whole volume as well as these few chapters have been insane, hasn't it? Little revengeful smile right here. Look at that. I do think this is a little weird angle for the sword, but it makes sense. But I think these things here are a little too long. Makes the sword look quite a bit shorter than it probably is. As we see in this shot here, the sword is very long. That is something I did pick up on. Again, just look at these shots of this skull, my dude. Dude, lent you a sword, he saved your life, he lent you a sword, now giving you a ride to save your girl. How was Skull Knight not your best friend, Guts? It probably is, actually. At this point in time, Skull Knight is Guts' best friend in this world, probably. Sad as that sounds. I can understand having a thing against a guy that's just skulls, but and being wary about him, but he's done nothing but be good to us, if you know what I'm saying. Guts' side of things. Yeah, some I can't scroll down. Why does it do this, my dude? At some points it just doesn't let me scroll down. How? And now when I scroll up it does the sound. What is this? Strange. Why does it do that? That's so strange, isn't it? So now I understand. So every time I can't scroll, it's because it changes the scroll setting to my sound. Strange, isn't it? Is it because I have YouTube open in the other? Who knows? Yeah, some very sad stuff at the start of this. Start of these couple chapters, wasn't it? Looking back at a lot of old faces. I found it quite interesting. We didn't look. I mean, I know she's alive, but we didn't look back at Casca really. She's in this shot here, but didn't really get any scenes of her where I feel like she's gone, if you know what I'm saying. Like the Casca we knew, she's not here anymore. She's alive, but it's not Casca, is it? And I love this. These 3 pages, again, kind of representing kind of story. In my opinion, this shot here, classic shot. Laying in the rain, laying with the pain. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. That is the end of this volume. I think I might have a little sneak peek at the cover for next volume. Ooh. Oh, nice. So yeah, we've got some good stuff in store then. Looks like he gets his mechanical arm, which is correct. I think I do get confused. I think it always is a mechanical arm, isn't it? But he can just take off the hand and it becomes a cannon, and he's got the arrows on top as well. I think I get a bit mixed up because I think I've seen shots of it without the hand at some points. I can't remember, but see Puck here. Can't wait to see him. It's been a long time since we've seen Puck. And can't wait to see how this fitted, to be honest with you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Do let me know what you guys thought about these couple chapters down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. I've got fucking no idea when I upload this, because I'm pre-recording this even more so than I usually would. So I got one coming out today that I done a couple of days ago. I think this is out on Tuesday, so I'll be back on Friday with the first 2 chapters of Volume 14. So hopefully you can join me then. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.